should make this point at the moment. And unfortunately, the people in the media who yell the loudest seem to have the biggest glass jaws when you point this out. But everyone from the Prime Minister on down has pointed out to me that they believe that there is a campaign being waged against them. And so this is reporting news, right? This is what people are telling me about what's going on. That news corporations, so we're talking about the Australian, Daily Telegraph and all of those tabloid newspapers around the country, 2GB in Sydney, led by Alan Jones and Ray Hadley, and Sky News in particular, with its evening lineup, are waging a war against the Prime Minister of Australia. Now, that's what they think. That's just reporting the news. Apparently, if you say that to them now, they get their knickers in a huge twist. Now, if they want to be players in this game, which is apparently what they are, and they're working behind the scenes as well as in front of the scenes, if they are making phone calls to people, trying to push people over the line, they're part of this story. So all I'm saying is, if they want to dish it out, they should be prepared to take it, and they're among the biggest bullies in the land. And it's about time that people call them out for what they are. And if they don't like that, then they can come after me.
OK, well, the blame game, it's the blame game while they're losing, right? And at the moment, you have had all sorts of influences coming from behind the scenes, and that's a big statement for you to make. Why are you making it this morning?
Because, look, people have to see this for what this is. And as I say, there are a lot of hands in this game at the moment. You're asking me, who's talking to Peter Dutton? Well, there'll be a lot of people inside his party who are talking to him. Who's talking to him from outside his party at the moment? Who outside his party, who are influential figures in Australia, is talking to Peter Dutton and telling him what they believe that he should do today? Because they're not just commentators. They are players. They have crossed the line. And that needs to be pointed out because people need to know everyone who's involved in this today, because it's the Australian country that's at stake here. We have a paralysed government, a government that is unable at the moment to be able to progress any of its policies through its party room or its parliament. So it can't do the things for Australia that need to be done. Now, all the people who are involved in bringing us to this point need to be held to account and at least be out in the open. Like I say, they can blow on as much as they like on their programs, they can talk about it as much as they like, but when they cross that line to want to be players in the game, to help to feed this, and they were feeding it last night, then they're part of the story, aren't they?
OK, so this is really important too. And this is why Donald Trump had so much purchase in America with his mantra about fake news. Whether you like him or not, the ability for him to, I guess, disconnect from the media and connect with the audience who believed that was the case is crucial for anyone who is in power now. There is a huge disconnect between, I guess, media and people watching at home as well. What is real and who are behind things? Yeah, and one of the big forces in the United States was Fox News. And one of the big forces in this building, it doesn't have much purchase beyond this building because it's a cable network, is Sky News. And Sky After Dark has been running a campaign against Malcolm Turnbull. Sky After Dark at the moment is turning Liberal National Party voters into One Nation voters, and they're not coming back. So that's a real problem for the Liberal National Party. What we're seeing, by the way, at the moment is the fracturing of that agreement between Liberals and Conservatives that brings you that arrangement of the Liberal Party, which has stood the test of time, put in place by Robert Menzies. It's falling apart at the moment. It needs to stop and think that it's eating itself. And the people who claim to be its allies are not actually its friends. I mean, with friends like Sky News, Malcolm Turnbull doesn't really need many other enemies.
Incredibly well said, Chris Uhlmann.
But that is a carve-up. That's a complete carve-up on Sky. How do you think they'll respond?
I couldn't give a rat's ass, Carl. Quite frankly, I'm tired of the bullying that comes out of that organisation. I'm tired of the bullying that comes out of 2GB. And again, I don't really care what they say about me. It is that they are players in the game. Listen to them. Watch them. You can tell that they're players in the game. You can tell what it is that they're trying to do. All I'm saying is that the Australian people are being caught in the crossfire. Fine, go ahead, say it. But the other thing too is if you're going to dish it out, you have to be prepared to take it.